Good evening YouTube, and welcome to another pickups video. In this video I'm going to be showing you some new Sega Saturn games which I've recently picked up, as well as a new holy grail to my collection in the form of a new console. So sit back, relax, and I'll start you off by showing you the Sega Saturn games. So we'll kick off with this classic, and that's SimCity 2000. I'm sure you've all played some kind of SimCity game throughout your gaming years. Used to be very popular on the PC back in the day, these kind of games did. I'm sure you know how to play them all. You just start off with a city, you build it up and watch it grow, basically. Show you some screenshots. There you go. So yeah, SimCity 2000. So moving on, we've got Starfighter 3000. I think this game was originally released like back in the day, back on the older Atars and stuff like that. So obviously it's just been updated for the Sega Saturn. I think there was also a film released based on the original game. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sure there was some kind of like video game like movie kind of based on it, something like that. So yeah, show you some screenshots. To me it's looking kind of like a Sega Saturn version of Star Fox or something like that, but without that annoying frog. So yeah, Starfighter 3000, I have to give that one a little blast. Moving on to Terry Pratchett's Discworld. I had no clue what this game was about, so I just looked at a couple of gameplays on YouTube and stuff like that, and from what I can work out it looks like a point and click adventure game with a few puzzles along the way. So yeah, I'll definitely give it a blast, a little play, and see what it's all about. I think it might be one of those that you might have to put a lot of time into, but yeah, I'll see what it's like. So anybody who watched my last pickups video will know that I picked up a copy of Virtual Cop, so it was only right that I went out and picked up the sequel, Virtual Cop 2. Yeah, classic light gun shoot 'em up, so yeah, can't go wrong with that game. Somewhere along the line I will also pick up the light gun for the Sega Saturn to play them with as well, because it'd just be rude not to, really, wouldn't it? So that's it on the Sega Saturn games this time round, just the 4. And anybody that's interested, they are all boxed and complete with the manuals, and that now takes my grand total up to 74 games towards the full PAL Sega Saturn collection. So then folks, now it's time for my pièce de la résistance. Don't actually know what that means, but I think it's French. So yeah, my main feature of this video is my new console. So then, what is it? Well, let me give you a little bit of background on it. Basically, I attended the Ultimate Gamers weekend down in Spalding a few weeks back, and I saw one of these consoles and I played on it for the very first time ever, and just since then I've instantly fell in love with it and wanted one ever since I got back. So yeah, I don't know why I'm doing this, because I didn't make a phone call. I typed out a little email to Martin to see if he could hook me up with the console, and he said yeah, sure. So I gave him the readies and he's mailed one to me, so excellent stuff, and I can say that it is brilliant. This console is absolutely, I'm just in love with it. It's just my new holy grail to my collection. So yeah, some of you might already be able to guess what it is by now, but if not, then I'm about to show you. So I'll do a cheeky little fade, like a little transition fade. So here we are, guys. If you couldn't have already guessed, it is of course the Neo Geo AES. A fantastic console by any means. Like I said, I've fallen absolutely in love with this console, and now it's just brilliant to finally have one in my collection. So as you can see, it's a very simplistic but all-round beautiful looking console in my opinion. And yeah, all the major functions. Reset, power on and off. You got 2 control ports, an headphone jack, and a volume control, your memory card slot, and of course on the back you've got your AV out and your power out. It did come with 2 classic Neo Geo arcade stick controllers. As you can see, this one's a bit worn, had a bit of wear and tear, this one, but still in good condition. This one here is virtually brand new. Yeah, I just love these things. Yeah, very responsive, and they just feel great, especially when you're playing arcade fighters and stuff like that. Just great, just feel so much better than the control pad. I mean, control pads are great, but for that arcade experience, it's got to be joysticks, really. Okay, so those of you who's a bit more eagle-eyed would have noticed that the power adapter to this is 2-pinned, and that is because this console is a Japanese console. So Martin kindly enough threw this in with it. And if you don't know what that is, that's basically just a step-down power converter so that you don't blow your console up. Because if you run it on our power, then you're more than likely fry your console, and that'll be nothing short of a big disaster. So here we are, one last time in its entirety. Also, for anybody wondering, yes, this is the actual console that we was all playing on at the Ultimate Gamer Weekend. It's the actual one that you was all playing on. So it actually has its own little bit of YouTube gaming history to it now as well, which is pretty good. So yeah, there we go folks, the Neo Geo AES. Just want to give a big thumbs up to Martin. Thanks a lot for hooking me up with this, mate. It's absolutely brilliant. If you can't tell, I am more than chuffed with it, so thank you very much. Great stuff. So yeah, there you go guys, absolutely brilliant console, loving it to bits, and can't wait to start a collection up on it. And to get me going, to start me off with that collection, Martin kindly threw in this game with it, and it's Fatal Fury 2, classic arcade beat 'em up. Plays absolutely brilliant with the arcade sticks on this console. You can't imagine it. It's just great. It's just awesome. As you can tell, this is a Japanese kart. Just look at the Japanese artwork on that. In my opinion, you just can't beat Japanese artwork. I just think they put so much effort into it. I'll show you the side. I'll do a bit of blue tonic and show you the side as well. So to anybody who's not familiar with the Neo Geo AES, then you might have noticed that on the console it had a very wide cart slot, and that is because the size of the carts for this thing are just absolutely massive. Let me show you. There we go, that's the actual cart. Just look at the size of that bad boy. And just so that you can get a comparison, here's your normal Super Nintendo cart, and there's your Neo Geo cart. As you can tell, look, they're considerably amount bigger than your normal game cart. They're absolutely brilliant though. Just love them. They're just so great. I just love the way they're massive. Takes up a lot of shelf, a lot of room on your shelving, but they're just brilliant, aren't they? You just can't beat them. Like I did mention before, this is a Japanese cart, but as far as I've been told anyway, that the AES is actually not region locked, so you can just play games from all over the world on it. It don't really matter what region they're in, they'll all work on one system. But apparently if you do have a Japanese console, then if you buy like an American or English game for this console, then the writing will change to Japanese. But yeah, basically you can play any game on it, the not region locked apparently. So this game did come with a manual, but it's not the manual for the actual game. This is actual manual for the Art of Fighting 2. So yeah, it's not the one for the actual game itself, but it's still great to have. Again, some nice Japanese artwork on there like that. Now Martin reckons that he just never noticed the manual in this. He reckons that he just he never realised that it was for a different game, but really I reckon he just thought, oh, it's Japanese, shocks won't know. But that's where he made his mistake, because I actually studied Japanese for about 8 years and I'm quite fluent in Japanese. So Martin, I've only got one thing to say to you, and that is Hakumi kushinai shishini. So that's it guys, that's everything that I've got to show you this time around. Thank you all for watching. Watashi nanama wa shots desu. Sayonara. Just for anybody that believed that I can actually speak fluent Japanese, then stop being naive. I can't speak Japanese to save my life, so yeah. If you fell for it, then shame on you. Goodbye.